with a border of around 200 miles with Russia, understandably, there is a degree of nervousness. So let's bring into the conversation the President of Estonia, Alar Karis, who joins me now from his country. Mr. President, thank you very much for your time. We hear a lot in this country about the coalition of the willing that Sir Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, put together. How supportive are you of that, and have you been invited to join? Morning to you, sir.
Morning. Yes, we discussed also this issue with Prime Minister Starmer when we had the VTC meeting together with the rest of the Baltic leaders. So we definitely support these discussions, and we already know that more than 10 or 15 countries are joining this initiative. So we really support these discussions, and as far as troops are concerned on Ukraine's ground, this is ongoing discussion still in Estonia, but a number of states already agreed to send troops, apart from also Denmark and some others, together with Brits and French.
What will make the coalition a success, Mr. President?
I mean, the success stands when we all agree what you do, and we have not many disagreements when we do this kind of coalitions. Because we all know that even there is going to be a ceasefire, Ukraine needs security guarantees. We know this already from our past, when British troops, together with Estonians, did fight for our independence in 1918. And we gained our independence, and we had a peace treaty with Russia. But 5 years later, Kremlin already started communist uprisal in Estonia, which was not successful. But in 1940, they managed to occupy us.
You may not be aware of this, but overnight, Giorgia Meloni has indicated that Italy will not be part of the coalition. How significant is that? Does it speak of a fracture, a break at all, Mr. President?
No, I don't think so, because it's not important that all countries in Europe join this initiative. It's important to support Ukraine. And even if 15 countries agree to join this initiative, it's already a substantial amount of countries which help Ukraine politically and also militarily.
There was a summit held in London by Sir Keir earlier this month. Your country was not invited. How disappointed were you?
No, not really. I mean, these things happen, and not all countries, because there are more than 30 countries in Europe. They all can't sit behind the table. But Prime Minister Starmer said sorry and made excuses that we are not present, and promised that next time we are behind the table.
Okay. Your country has military conscription. I believe all male citizens between 18 to 27 must serve 11 months in your army. And there are calls for other European countries to introduce a similar scheme. This comes from the President of Latvia and other countries. Would you support that for all European nations, Mr. President?
Yes, we do, because we have this. We never abandoned this conscription. And apart from conscription, we also have a defense league, which is a voluntary kind of military league, which also works together and trains together with our soldiers. So conscription has been part of our defense system already more than 30 years. And now also the same is in Finland. And I know that, yes, as you mentioned, Latvia is also going to think about restoring conscription. Because also in 20 years back, we had a discussion whether we should have also a professional army rather than conscription. But we abandoned this idea, and now we have, I guess we have a very good system.
You have a border of around 200 miles with Russia. Is your nation permanently on a war footing?
No, I mean, you can't choose your neighbours. And we do know historically, already for centuries, because this imperialistic gene is there. Now, one question is how to silence it, how to deter that Russian troops will not end up in Europe. I mean, other countries rather than Ukraine. So it's not only Estonia, which has a border to Russia. It's Europe. Also, Spain has a border with Russia.
When you look at the geographical positioning of your country and what it needs to achieve, would you say that President Trump is a force for good or bad?
No, we hope it's for good, because you see how Europe...
Sorry to interrupt, sir. What has he done that's good in this area then?
No, I mean, The last time when Trump was a president, we started to think about defense and increase our defense resources and budgets. And the same happens now. So do hope that Europe puts more than 2% on defense, as Estonia puts 5%. And this is not just a nice number. It's come from NATO defense plans.
Yes, lastly, on the subject of taxation, I understand you have a security tax or a war tax, as it were, of some 2%. Again, do you think other European countries should be looking to do that?
Well, it depends on the country because countries are different. We are a small country and we need not only to put money on our defense budget, but also we need allies. So last time we didn't have allies in 1940, we were occupied. So now the situation is different. Even if we put more than 10% on our defense, we still need allies. Still need friends, and Brits are definitely one of them because now even Prince William will come to Estonia to visit British troops here in Estonia, and British brigade has been allocated to Estonia, and we have going to have an military exercise this spring. So we are very good allies. But yeah, to answering the question, it's up to different countries how they do and find the budget. Because for us, some countries it's extremely difficult. But we all know that also in European level, the fiscal rules have been going to be changed. So it's all gives an opportunity to solve this problem.